Well, here we are at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, and it's rundown time at day 4. Managed to catch hold of John Tanner before he leaves to head back to Asia to find out exactly what is going on. John Tanner, Global Technology Editor at Telecom Asia. What was the buzz yesterday?
There was quite a bit of buzz yesterday. One of the hot topics, it turned out, was location-based services, which is a bit of a surprise, but you have, well, first of all week, Stephen Elop of Nokia has been emphasizing that location-based services are a major part of their strategy going forward. They're building up their platform and opening it up to apps developers, so instead of the usual apps that they already have, like Maps and Drive and Transport, other people can build on top of that, because that's going to be a major step for applications going forward. Then also on the stage yesterday in the morning keynotes, you had Dennis Crowley of Foursquare pretty much demonstrating the power of that by showing how the Foursquare application really comes alive when you add that location capability. So instead of consulting Foursquare to find out about recommendations, where your friends are, what they're doing, what they're saying is really cool, Foursquare can proactively ping you, buzz in your pocket, and let you know when you're in range of something that you said you wanted to buy a while back or were interested in, or recommend a good restaurant, where your friends are, what your friends have reviewed, and that kind of thing. So that really puts a lot of power in these applications, and that could really be the next step if they can get it to work, and if they can handle the privacy issues correctly.
Now, I heard there's a bit of controversy with Citibank talking about M-banking and M-payments. What was that all about?
Don Callahan, the CTO of, and also the COO of Citibank, was basically, he made the point that you have 5 billion mobile users in the world right now. You only have 1.8 billion bank accounts in the world, so why isn't mobile payments taking care of this? Why aren't there more bank accounts in the world? He said, what are we getting wrong? He pointed out, he quoted Peter Drucker saying that any new technology that comes along has to be 10 times better than whatever it's replacing, and mobile banking simply has not done that. And he said, we really have to get it right. One thing that he kind of left out was one of the things that does tend to hold up mobile banking, as opposed to just mobile payment services like remittance services that we see in Asia, is that regulations in countries tend to be pretty restrictive about that. So they won't let mobile operators be banks, which is why unbanking or banking unbanked projects tend to work better, because you're not if the banks can't do it, the operators have to do it, but the banks have to be involved. So it's a lot more complicated than he might have made it sound.
And they're not pretty used to working together. They're not that well used to working together as well.
Exactly.
The other thing that I heard was interesting, a lot of talk about the way we're handling customer experience and customer care, and how we've, as an industry, probably mixed that up and not setting a good example for the new players coming in. What was that about? Well,
customer experience management is a very, very big topic this year, because customer experience in general is a big focus of service differentiation from operators and so on. I was sitting at a roundtable yesterday, which involved people from StarHub, from Cineverse, Northstream, and WDS, talking about customer experience management, and two really important points that came up that explained how operators are looking at this in perhaps the wrong way is in a couple ways. One, the discussion tended to veer off between customer care, which is like call centers and how you handle the calls that come in when people have a problem, versus preventative technologies that improve the customer experience and prevent those calls from coming in the first place. Operators tend to view those as kind of two separate approaches to it, when really it should be a more integrated approach. They're a part and parcel of the same thing, and operators need to kind of understand that. It's not just one or the other. The other thing, which Bengt Nordstrom of Northstream brought up, which was a really good point, is that another barrier to customer experience management is who takes care of that. You talk about operators appointing customer experience officers, CEOs, which is very confusing. Or maybe it's this department's problem or this department's problem. Is it marketing? Is it the customer care department? Is it the IT guy? Whatever it is. And
but it should be everybody, shouldn't it?
It's everybody's problem. All the departments can't just parse it off to somebody else. It's all interconnected one way or the other, and you really have to change the culture at all levels so that everyone is working on the same page and understand that they all have to work together to make the customer experience the best possible. This is something that Joseph O'Connick from CSL has been talking about a lot, that you really have to dig in and change the entire culture from the frontline staff all the way up to the top, and have them all on that page and have them understand that that's what's important there, and they're all in it together.
Did they touch on using or monitoring social networking channels for customer care and customer complaints?
Strangely enough, that didn't come up. There was a little bit of talk about about that, but only just really towards the end. There was more talk about, well, what I just talked about, and also the roaming aspect of that, and how you help customer experience for roaming, because Cineverse is very active in that, of course.
Well, it looks like we're I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted after this week. Are you looking forward to heading back?
I am looking forward to heading back, and if I may, I'd just like to close with the astonishing number of Brice Lee references that came up during the keynotes this morning. There were two, actually. One from Dan Hesse of Sprint, who was at Mobile World Congress for the first time, and he basically quoted Brice Lee saying that what he says? Simplicity is a sign of brilliance. I'm paraphrasing, but but just making the point about how simplicity is very important for mobile services and putting everything together for customers. The other one came from Chi Shilong, the head of ZTE, who closed his talk with several pictures of Brice Lee and pointing out that in Kung Fu there are different flavors of Kung Fu, different styles, and Brice Lee was actually a practitioner of many of them and brought them all into his own unique style into cinema. So whoever in the telecoms business can integrate different access technologies and put it all together, they will be the Kung Fu master of telecom.
Well, I can't wait to see that. John, goodbye from the press centre here at Mobile World Congress. Next year we'll be in a new location, hopefully with more space, because this was packed out. Doesn't look like it now, but earlier in the week we couldn't even get in here.
No, I was sitting on the cobblestones outside.
Well, I hope that doesn't cause any health problems. Thanks, John. See you next year.
See ya.